immediately on the gas, and this is now underway again. McCorkindale leads him out on the straight with Anderson tucked in behind him, and then Kane and Smurden already gapping the next 3 cars.
I reckon about 3, maybe 4 laps left in this race. So there's 4 minutes and then a lap extra for time certainty in this one. So there's plenty of racing to go, plenty of opportunity for Michael Anderson to put a move on and get a victory. McCorkindale can afford to finish second in this race, probably even third, and still win the round, though there is a bigger points weighting in race 3, the longer race at a Kumho Series round. It pays 60 points to win compared to 40 for the other 2. So we're back underway. Falcons 1 and 2 and 4 with Chris Smurden in behind. And Chris has been fiery this weekend, very, very fast. The former series champion. A locked Kumho for Anderson. The run into Honda, and it's a side-by-side battle with the race leader into Siberia.
Kane looking for a way around as he runs a little bit wide at 5, almost invites Smurden to go up the inside of him there. These 4 are running line astern. They've already put a gap back to Page and Collins and Policena, who is a lap down, of course.
Cast your mind back to Queensland Raceway, our last round of the Kumho Series. Michael Kane and Chris Smurden spent most of that weekend banging into each other. It was an extraordinary fight. They had a good laugh about it after the weekend, but she was pretty serious while they were on track. Now the sheep station's just a little bit bigger because they're running 3rd and 4th on the road and fighting for a spot on the round podium. So this is a replay of turn 4 after that restart.
Lock up by Anderson, wow, and he hit the back of McCorkindale as well. So we can see that bonnet's copped further damage after coming unglued at the start of the previous race.
He's on here, Michael Anderson. Great run out of turn 12. In the toe of John McCorkindale and goes down the inside to grab a lead, or is it not? McCorkindale holds on. He's got the right line into the southern loop. A slight lock up on the inside, and they continue to battle side by side. McCorkindale holds on, holds off the advances of Michael Anderson, and holds on to his race lead for at least another corner or 2.
And there's also the same sort of shenanigans going on right behind and between Kane and Smurden, very tight.
Here goes Anderson down the inside. Great move. Under brakes at Honda and got it done. Kane's off the road. Smurden goes through and grabs 3rd spot. So that position changes hands as well. We've got a new race leader. Michael Anderson now in front. Could we see another stat added to the record book of a first-time winner in the Kumho Series? What a weekend it has been.
And Anderson now moving away to consolidate that front-running newer model car, of course, would be the trick car to have here out of the 2.
The race report for this weekend is going to run to a couple of thousand words, I think, trying to explain what's going on here. Policena has got past Page and Collins and has elevated himself up behind his teammate too. So the top 5 cars all equidistantly spaced 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 as they run into turn 12. We'll give you a round points update as they cross the line this time as well, because I think McCorkindale's still in a pretty reasonable position to win the round. Anderson across leads the race. McCorkindale still in front and would win the round if he finishes where he is. Smurden 3rd. Best result for ages for the former series champion from Adelaide. And then it's Kane running in P4. Policena not showing up on the time when he's a lap behind. Yes, thank you.
And wants to buy into the fight anyway.
Why not? It's his teammate in front too, so he's got some assistance. So I think there will be 2 laps to go. 5 showing on the lap board, but it was 12:38 plus 1 lap on local time, and it's 12:38 and 15 seconds now. So we'll get confirmation on that and let you know when this race ends, but I'll just continue to drive these things as hard as they can, and Anderson is doing just that in front. I think McCorkindale's probably safe because Chris Smurden now finds himself under pressure. There's Dean Canto watching on from the back of the garages. There's Tyler Greenbury, who's back in the garages and A-OK. So Dean Canto on the headsets for John McCorkindale's team. Doing some driver coaching and engineering and offering his many, many years of experience and wisdom. And John told me earlier this year that it's just been a massive boost for him to have a guy like Dino in his ear coaching him through all these races. He's on the verge of winning his first ever Kumho Series round.
You can see the damage to the back of McCorkindale's car where Anderson tried to dig a hole.
He's not too worried about that, I don't think. Won't slowing it down too much. Turn 1. Michael Anderson, a man from a part of the world you're very familiar with, Gary O'Brien, and part of the world motor racing fans are very familiar with, Bathurst. He's a Group N racer who made his name racing a Falcon GTHO very successfully. Made the move into the Kumo Series last year in a BF Falcon, upgraded to that ex-FPR FG Falcon at the start of this season. Has been a terrific supporter of the series, a very good driver. The 2 cars, first and second privateers in every sense of the word. Kane v Smurden take, what, 5 or 6? They continue on. Chris gets a whack for his troubles, and Michael Kane goes through.
And locks up in turn 5. I think he's desperate to try and get back on even terms there, in more than one way, of course.
Oh, and Smurden off the road there, and he'll drop behind Jim Policina now. So that's P3 done for the former V8 Ute racer.
I dare say they might need a referee after this race to keep them apart, if nothing else.
1 lap. This is the last lap. Down to MG. What a weekend of racing for the Kumo Series. And we're just adding names to the record book now. The title contenders out in a big crash at turn 4. John McCorkindale won his first race earlier on today. Now it's Michael Anderson's turn. What a performance. He wins for the first time in Kumo Series. And for John, you can pop the McCork because he's won the round. The 69 Ford takes Phillip Island.
And Michael Kane comes across the line in 3rd spot. Chris Smurden in 4th. Jim Policina was right there with him as well, but he was a lap behind. And I think on that last lap, we may have had a positional change between Page and Collins. As Page goes across the line, I think maybe Collins has actually dropped off